Warriors, I'm tremendously grateful that you are watching this video right now, because I am going to fill you with the 6 steps that worked for me to stop panic attacks. I'm excited for you because not only were these the steps that worked for me, but they're working for a lot of people out there that are committed to practicing them on a daily basis. Now, what is a panic attack? A panic attack is a false alarm, basically. It's a false alarm. And if you recognize a person that's going through panic attacks, you'll also recognize an accumulative amount of stress in their lives that have led to the subconscious mind-body being sensitized in certain environments, therefore causing a panic attack. This means that the sympathetic nervous system is much more activated than the parasympathetic nervous system. The fight, flight, or freeze response is constantly on, whereas the rest and digest response is off. When this happens, there's an imbalance going on in somebody's internal world, and what starts to happen is everything in the outside world is a potential threat. Hasn't this happened to you? You wake up in the morning, and you feel sensitized right away. The cookie crumbs begin towards the panic attack. That happens usually around 3, 4, 5, whatever happens for you. So there's a sensitivity. How am I going to deal with work today? What if a panic attack shows up? What do these sensations of anxiety mean within me? Who am I? Where is my life going? God, please help me. I mean, the questions go on and on. A person's mind is full of irrational, catastrophic ways of seeing trees, bushes, people, restaurants, you name it. Even their own place, even their comfort zones, many times can be sensitizing to them. So, what do we do? Well, here's what I did. First thing was mindful meditation. Somebody came to me and said, Dennis, you got to start meditating. And I said, well, how do you do that? Because there's so many different types of meditations out there. I want to keep it very simple for you. I implemented a 2-minute practice every single day. And all I did was I made peace with peace. I sat in a comfortable position or I laid down, and all I did was focus on one simple thing, and that was my breathing. I just focused on my breathing. I became mindful of my breathing, and in that state, everything that I needed to do or that was done left me. What starts to happen here? The parasympathetic system starts to become activated. There is a sense of balance and homeostasis going on in your system, and your interpretations of the outside world start to change. It's so crucial to start a mindful meditation practice, my friends. The second thing I did was I became more aware of my breathing as I went through the day, not just during the meditation session, but as I went through the day. I started to breathe from my stomach area rather than my chest area. I started to focus on the depth of breathing, because you'll notice that there's a very consistent pattern with people going through panic attacks. Their breathing is very shallow throughout the day. And the only time they're aware of it is when they start to lose it. Like, I'm losing control of my body. Oh my God, am I breathing? So I started to become very conscious of my breathing as I went through the day. So the depth was very important. And I regained focus more than anything. I regained focus over what was truly going on in my life. I wasn't coming up with all these catastrophic possibilities of what was going to happen. I was much more present simply by consciously focusing on what was going on with my breathing pattern and my breathing rhythm. The third thing I did was I stopped running away from the moments where I started to feel anxious, panicky, whatever you want to call it. Normally, I adjusted my entire life. I said, okay, we're going to go to a restaurant tonight. Okay, where are the exit signs? Where are the doors? Is there anybody here that looks like they may be, looking at me funny right now? Am I going to make a fool out of myself? There were hundreds of possibilities that I started to conjure up in my mind prior to going into a certain environment. But here's what started to happen. I stopped running when I started to feel anxious. So I proved to myself, my subconscious self, that, hey, this place, this body, these sensations, this life, this world, doesn't have to be feared all the time. I don't have to live in a world where I'm constantly sensitive to the next possible attack. And I did that because I stopped running away. And many people will say easier said than done, but you have no choice. You have no bloody choice. Because if you continue doing what you're doing, unconsciously, allowing your emotions to run your life, you are living as a slave to your emotions. Is that how you want to live your life for the rest of your life? I don't think so. You're a warrior. You're not a victim. That's why you're here. You're not a victim of your feelings and your emotions. Number 4 is I took magnesium through magnesium flakes in a bath. All right? So, of course, there are many different ways that you can absorb magnesium. I believe that truly magnesium is one of the best, if not the best mineral for calming your nerves. And when I went through magnesium in a bath, what started to happen is my skin started to absorb that magnesium. And I felt a tremendous relief almost automatically right after I got out of the bath. So magnesium flakes in a bath, very powerful way to begin creating this parasympathetic environment in your body. The 5th thing I did was I got curious. I simply got curious. What were the inner workings that were taking place prior to and during a panic attack? So my curiosity started to really get activated. What was really going on here? What were the patterns that were causing me to feel so sensitized and experience a panic attack? What sort of things kept it going? What sort of person have I become? What do I believe? What is my belief system like? How do I view myself as a person? Do I see myself as an anxious person? Do I project that to other people? Why don't I just start becoming curious rather than instinctive? Rather than just allowing my emotions to tug me in any direction to tell me that's safe and that's not, why don't I become curious? So again, get curious as to how you got to where you are and what sort of things are creating a panic attack in your life. The 6th and final thing, and to me, most likely, the most important thing out of all these things that I did was I emotionally reframed upcoming events that may cause me to experience a panic attack. So, since the subconscious mind body understands you when you imagine things, just like you're doing now, but you're imagining things unconsciously, what I want you to do is imagine things consciously. And what I mean by that is imagine yourself going through the moments, the environments, the situations with the people that normally cause you to panic in your imagination exactly the way you'd like it to go. So when I started to reframe the future, again, my mind didn't know the difference between what was imagined and what was actually happening. Because this is the case, I modified things in my head. And when I modified those environments and those situations, what started to happen? I became desensitized because there was more evidence to prove of my safety rather than my danger. My survival was at risk? No, it wasn't. Let me imagine what it would be like to be completely safe doing what I need to do today. And emotions and feelings will start to catch up to this reframing process. Warriors, those are the 6 steps that worked for me. Use them in your life. Move past panic attacks starting today. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for all the notifications. And if you have any other questions on the End the Anxiety program, head on over to that website right up there. Ask me a question, go through the program, begin your recovery today. I love you all so much. You are more than anxiety. See you soon.